Hello, my friends. How are you doing? I hope you are doing great. Welcome to Verified Soul and to today's video. So, it is time to move to the US. And when is this time? We are talking here of the time after the visa has been approved. After the visa has been approved, there is some misunderstanding on the time that you are required to be within your country before moving to the US. Now, I want to discuss this way, that after the DV interview, you have some times to get organized. And people say that it is 6 months. And I don't want to say that it's not true, because you have the 6 months not after the interview, but after the medical examination. Get it right. The time you attend the medical examinations, that day, you count from that day, and you have 6 months for you to move to the US. Why? It is because that half a year time period is actually the time period within which the medical results are still valid. Beyond the 6 months, the medical exams results, they become invalid, and therefore you cannot move to the US due to that reason. So the time limit is normally placed on the visa, but it is based on the medical examination. I hope that point is clear. And this simply means that you, as the principal applicant, together with your family, have enough time to get yourself organized. You may need to clear with some various issues before you relocate to the US. You might not be having sufficient funds to facilitate the air ticket for all of you. This time period gives you enough time for you as the principal applicant to move to the US, work your way out, and get some money and send it back to your family to facilitate for their air ticket. So it gives you enough time. And the other question that I want to handle based on this same issue is about the fiscal year. You see, some people, they say that you need to have relocated to the US before the end of the fiscal year. For example, if you are the DV Lottery 2024 and then you get interviewed and your visa is approved, you must be in the US before the end of the fiscal year 2024. But is that true? Not at all. For you to move out of your country is not based on the fiscal year, not the end of the fiscal year. It's not based on that. It is based on the 6 months that you are given after your medical examination. That is to say, the validity of your visa. It depends on the validity of your visa. So let's take an example. If you have your interview towards the end of a fiscal year, for example, if you are a DV Lottery 2024 winner and you get your interview in September 2024, it does not mean that you need to hurry up to rush things for you to be in the US before September 30th, 2024. Not at all. If you get your interview at that time, you still have 6 months for you to relocate to the US. You're not limited by the end of the fiscal year. So if you have an interview on September 2024, you have 6 months. You can even decide to relocate in the month of December 2024 or even January 2024, so long as you are within the boundaries of the 6-month time limit placed on your visa. I hope that point is clear. The other thing to note is that your family, the so-called the derivatives, once you leave them behind, if you have left them behind, their visas are also valid for those 6 months. And therefore, you must ensure that your family joins you before this time expires. It's a time limit for both the principal applicant and the beneficiaries. You cannot decide to go to the US and live as long as you want, thinking that they still will be having the visas valid. No. Even them, they have to be in the US within the 6 months. The other thing to note is that even if you get interviewed early enough and you have many more months remaining for the fiscal year to end, your visa is still valid for 6 months. You cannot say that the fiscal year has not ended, my visa is still valid. No, it is based on the 6 months. Finally, I want to tackle a very important and very critical issue here. If you go to the DV interview and due to one reason or the other, your visa is not approved and is placed under AP, administrative processing, the 221G visa refusal. And that process, the administrative processing on your case, takes time longer than 6 months. If it takes time beyond 6 months, you will have to go all over again through the entire medical process. Yeah, get it right. Let me say it again. That let's say, for example, you are a DV Lottery 2024 selectee and your interview is scheduled for December 2023. If you go for this interview and you get the 221 visa refusal and you are requested to provide the extra documents needed and you give them, you send them to the embassy. And if the process delays, you're put to 221G for months. And let's say, for example, you are called back for the interview in the month of September 2024. That means you will have overstayed the 6 months limit of the medical examination. And that means that you will have to go all over again through the medical examination because your results are not valid at this time. They have gone beyond 6 months and they have expired. You will go through all the process and pay all the necessary expenses all over again. You must note that the medical exams are only valid for 6 months. And that's why I keep on telling you, it's very important to avoid 221G because once you're put there, you will not know how long it will take for your case to be dealt with. And if it goes beyond that time, then you will have to pay for the expenses for the medical examination all over again. So the time to move to the US is now. Once you get your visa, you can relocate immediately. You can decide to stay within your country as long as the 6 months are not expired before you travel to the US. So thank you guys for watching this video. I saw it important that we go through this, though majority of you might be knowing this. So please don't forget to share this video out with your friends. Don't forget to like it and also subscribe if you have not. And let's meet in the next video.